I'm your host, Noah Love, and today we will be talking about the Pacers and Thunder. Game 3. The Pacers win by 9 to go up 2-1. We will break down that game in its entirety right here today. We will also talk about Tyrese Halliburton's comments after Game 3 about the media, which I agree with a little bit. We'll get into that. That's ending today on a Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. But let's start with this. The Pacers win by 9 to go up 2-1. It's their first game 3 win the the playoffs. The Thunder started off really well in this game. 15-6. The first quarter they were up 8. They were playing well, looked like they had all the momentum. Then something happened. And when I mean something, TJ McConnell came into the basketball game and changed it. Just changed the trajectory of it. Again, TJ McConnell had one of the most impactful 15 minutes in an NBA Finals game you'll see. This man had 10 points, 5 assists, 5 steals. Yes, 5 steals. He was everywhere. He was making all of the little hustle plays, diving on the floor for loose balls, getting steals off the inbound. He was a pest. He turned the game around. By the way, the Pacers do not win this game as well. I know TJ McConnell as well without Benedict Mathurin. 27 points in 22 minutes at the age of 23 years old. That's incredible. Mathurin's actually having a good series, actually having bounce back here from Nick's series. I thought in every game he's played well. He was excellent, phenomenal in game 3. Obi Toppin had 8 points. He played well, did his thing, had a big putback. They were plus 18. I mean, look, when look, Mathurin obviously plus 16, McConnell plus 12, Toppin plus 18. He was big. Ben Shepherd had 4 points, but he was playing some great defense on Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. In terms of the starters, look, Nesmith played 22 minutes, 7 points, but he 6 fouls. He was out there playing his butt off. He was. Nembhard, 8 points, 5 fouls. Right, probably those two, not their two best offensive games, but they were flying around. They were hustling. Siakam played well with 21, obviously. Was playing hard, too. Halliburton, 22, 9, and 11. Came out, was more aggressive, and it leads to a Pacers win. Hit 4 threes. It was good. He played well. One of the things I want, I want to get into when talk about this game is the bench of OKC needs to show up next game because look, Isaiah Joe, he came in and gave you a good boost, 6 points, but you only played him 4 minutes. Aaron Wiggins didn't give you anything in the 10 minutes you played him. Caruso played 32 minutes. He obviously did not have the big output that he did in game 2. Isaiah Hardenstein, 4 points, was not as effective as he was in the first 2 games. And then I'm looking at obviously the Thunder. Look, Chet got going. He had 13 in the first quarter. Props to Miles Turner because Chet was getting whatever he wanted. And Miles Turner, he in the fourth quarter, he said, "Nah, I'm sick and I'm still gonna gut it out for my team and I'm gonna guard." He guarded. He guarded Chet. He blocked him multiple times. Man, he said no. Not in our house, not in this must-win game 3. You come in here, you're getting swatted back. Chet obviously didn't have it for 3. I thought J-Dub was good, very good. 26 points. His efficiency was fine. 50%, mostly except for the free throws late. 7 of 11. He's got to be better than that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, though. And this is the first game where I'm actually going to look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and really this postseason and ask, was he tired? Because that's how he looked. He looked tired. 24 points, 8 boards, 4 assists. He has 6 turnovers. His point guard was 9 for 20, 1 of 3. I thought he looked tired. I thought Nembhard, Ben Shepherd, who else was on him? Nembhard, Ben Shepherd, and dang it, and Nesmith. Yeah, Nesmith. I thought all 3 of them did a really good job of just pressuring him full court and making it tough. Just make it tough on him if he hits the shot. Obviously, Lu Dort had 4 threes, but if you're the Pacers, you feel like you'll live with that. I believe you will live with that. Uh, the Pacers were trying to pick out the mismatch all night mainly. They established Siakam early in the high post. You know, there were times where Siakam would have Casey Wallace on him, times where he would have SGA on him, times where he would have uh man, my brain's all over the place today. Casey Wallace. So and Caruso and SGA obviously. So well, he did really well. I thought he picked his spots really well. I just thought in terms of the game, that was one of the hardest playing win. That might be the hardest playing win that the Pacers have gotten this postseason. They earned that one, man. Uh, they they were fantastic. And in terms of turning them over, they turned OKC over 17 times. When you have more turnovers and assists, you're not going to win the game. Just turning them over and getting points off of those turnovers. And also we talked about the pace. The pace of the game. The Pacers played it at their pace. And that's how they won. I mean, you look at the second quarter, 40 points. You look at the fourth, 32. In the third, they were outscored by 9 and 8, but they weren't really playing at the pace that they wanted to. Plus, they were missing some shots. The Pacers were awesome last night. OKC was not. Now, there's a day in between here. First time this series, there's a day in between. So there's a game 4. Game 4. If OKC goes down 3-1, like I said, could they come back? Yes, but it would be insanely tough. I said it would be a split. If Indiana gets game 4, I'm not going to lie. If Indiana gets game 4, I think Indiana's going to win the world championship. I think my Pacers will win the world championship. If it's 2-2, OKC probably goes back to being the favorite. But game 4, there's so much pressure on OKC to get this thing tied. Whereas Indiana here, I mean, I'm just looking at them like a lot of people did not get them a chance. First of all, for people that were saying, "Oh, this is going to be a good series, like a superstar," please shut up forever. This series has been great. This series has been awesome through 3 games. And I think it will continue to be awesome. That game last night, that was one of the best finals games probably in the past 4 years. Games 1 and 3 were that good in terms of classic finals games. This finals already blows Celtics and Mavericks out of the water. Already. So look, the Pacers, they did what they had to do at home last night. That's a big time dub. You're 2 wins away from NBA championship. If you're OKC, you gotta go back to the draw board. If Shea Gilders Alexander is not having a good night again in game 4, the others have to find a way to try to help take him over the finish line. Help get him over the finish line. That game 4 Friday night is that Charles Barkley said Friday night is D-Day for the Oklahoma City Thunder, assuming that's their season. Look, they were down 2-1 against Denver. Denver did not come out and shoot well in game 4, and look, OKC was down 8-9 in the fourth quarter in that game. And then they came back against Indiana here. It's gonna they're down 8-9 in the fourth quarter. There could be some trouble here. Game 4 for both teams, it's gonna feel like game 7. Because it's gonna be like if the Pacers win, they're 1 win away. They go up 3-1. They're almost 1 win to one of the biggest upsets of all time. And then there's there's the Thunder warehouse. We got to get this to 2-2 going back home. We got to get it there. It's gonna be fascinating. The game 4, man. Both teams need it. Both teams obviously want it. Who wants it more? Man, it's gonna be a brawl for it all. I cannot wait to watch it. It's going to be an insane game. Also, in this game, there was a couple times where Halliburton got some DHO screens and they were working well off of that. Obviously, he was better in the pick and roll, but he was just overall more aggressive on the pick and roll. Just more aggressive. The Patriots pick and roll defense was not great. It was not great until the fourth quarter, where they were forcing them out. They were really playing physical. Look, I thought the referees in this game were awful on both sides. I mean, they were really calling like we're calling touch fouls in the NBA Finals. Really, bruh? We're in the NBA Finals and we calling touch fouls. Really, dog? And look, now I will give them some credit. Every time Shea tried to initiate contact or fall down, they didn't give him. I think there was one time where he initiated contact, Ben Shepard didn't touch him, he falls down, he misses a shot, no call. But then there was another time where the Pacers come on a double team, Obi grabs his arm, he gets everybody in the arena is thinking, no way, that's a foul. But those are my only compliments because the rest of the game, both sides, refs were the whistle incredibly tight. The way they were calling the game between games 1 and 2 was incredibly different from games through to game 3. I don't know what was going on. I truly don't know what was going on with the referee last night. But yeah, that's pretty much the only complaint in terms of that, in terms of the refereeing. But the Pacers look up 2-1. Game 3 is obviously Friday night. No matter what happens, we're going to Game 5 Monday night. Will the Pacers be will the Indiana Pacers be champions on Monday night, or what's going to happen? We be going back for Game 6. I have no clue. I'm just ready to see Game 4 because Game 3 was an absolute masterclass. If you're not watching this finals, and you claim you're a basketball fan, you're not a real basketball fan because these finals have been incredible. Next, I want to go to Tyrese Halliburton's comments on the media. This is what he said afterwards. After they won, I forgot even what the question was, but this is the quote. He says the commentary is always going to be what it is. Most of the time, the talking heads on major platforms, I couldn't care less. Honestly, what do they really know about basketball? Boom. Then you got people, Stephen A. being sensitive, all that other jazz. Look, Tyrese, if we're talking about major talking heads on platforms, you know who he was talking about. He was talking about Stephen A. Smith. What does Stephen A. Smith know about basketball? What does he know? What does he know? I don't think he was talking about former players. I don't think he was talking about that. I really don't think he was talking. I think he was talking about guys that have never played. Stephen A. was talking about you covered the NBA for 30 years. Okay, yeah, you covered it, but did you play it? And if you're gonna criticize a guy or guys, because you criticized everybody, don't be upset when somebody tries to criticize you back, hypocrite. Enough of this guy, man. I mean, seriously, when is enough? When will ESPN put their foot down and be like, we need some better guys that can actually talk about the game of basketball? I mean, they're just hiring anybody at this point. Same with FS1. You got shows like The Facility, who, yes, are good for football, but for basketball have no clue what they're talking about. I've got to watch guys, casuals like Jason McIntyre on the Herd, to turn the TV off because he has no clue what he's talking about. Colin has knowledge, but when Colin's not there, it's like, my God. First things first isn't as bad because Broussard and Nick, they're not terrible. They're fine. They're not as bad. Then you have to watch Speak, where it's freaking Keyshawn and Joy not knowing what they're talking about, but Paul Pierce just knowing what he's talking about because it's the truth, Paul Pierce. I mean, Lord have mercy here. So I really don't think he's talking about the foreign players in the media. I know Stephen A's trying to be talking about see how they try and be slick. No, see how you trying to be slick. What would and talking about I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna always be here. Like, dude, get out. You have an ego. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Seriously. Like, get this man off the airwaves. like if like you cannot criticize a guy and then go and then not be able to this is and not be able to take criticism of yourself. Again, this is like the third time this happened this year. It's happened with Kevin Durant. By the way, it's happened with Kevin Durant on multiple occasions. And it's happened with LeBron James. But everybody at ESPN is going to bow down to this man. Like, no, somebody needs to tell him how it is. Dog. Dog. Look, you're a journalist. We respect that. You put in a lot of work. We respect that. But you don't know the game like the guys playing and the guys that have played. You just don't. Sorry. Do you know what drop coverage is? Do you know what hedging a pick and roll even means? You should because you play college basketball, but these are legit questions. Do you know what DHO action is? Do you know what a floppy set even is? Do you know what a horns action is? I mean, let's be real here. Does he know any of those things? It's kind of the same thing with football. Does he know the 9 concepts on a route tree? Does he know a cut block? Does he know what that is? Does he know how D linemen should fight a double team and all that other jazz? Like when he's going out here and criticizing people, you have to ask yourself, does he know the ins and outs of the game? And it's not even that. If you don't, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. That's completely fine. But don't go out here saying, "Oh, I know everything about this." No, you don't. That's what he does a lot. And when somebody tries to call you out, don't get all sensitive. Because this is what happens. Somebody will say something and then he always feels the need to respond. If you don't have to respond every time. You could say, "You know what? I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it be." That's all you got to say. But but no, he has to sit up here. We have to take time, 5, 10, 20 minutes talking about it. Like, I like what Halliburton said. Because what do a lot of these talking heads know? What, how, on these major platforms, what do these guys know that guys who have played at a higher level or guys on the street don't know? Seriously, this is a legit question. Obviously, I know Kendrick Perkins knows the game. Keith Morris, Marcus knows the game. The Twins know the game. Obviously, they know that Jay Williams knows the game. We know that Udonis Haslam knows the game. Barkley Smith, Shaq knows the game. Again, I don't think he's really talking about those guys. I think he's talking about the talking heads, the journalists that don't know the game. That they don't actually watch the game. They'll box score watch. Like, come on now. Come on. Let's be honest. And so when people say they don't like Stephen A, it's because of this reason. Or this is one of the reasons. Well, there are a multitude of reasons, but this is one of the reasons why. So in the Halliburton's comments, I like him. I like him. I do. If LeBron James had said this, and other people and NBA players have said this on multiple occasions, like, or they've even thought about saying it, but I just would, again, if you are going to criticize a guy, because I'm not saying that Halliburton is not you. Oh, you can't criticize Halliburton. You can't. There are many of things you can criticize him for. Trust and believe. But if you're gonna criticize a guy and then that guy shoots back and criticizes you, you can't get all sensitive. I mean, you just can't do that because then you're being a hypocrite. With shocker, Stephen A. being a hypocrite, LOL. Like we know this is what this guy does. Look, he's just gonna sit up there. He's just gonna talk. He's there to be entertaining. In terms of takes, if you're really going to him for that, that's not your guy. That's not your guy. If you're going for takes, you need to go to somebody like a Kenny Smith, um, something like that. Well, if you're going for takes, you don't really go. You should go to channels like Low, Kenny, these actual NBA YouTubers that watch all year around. Players Choice. There's Chilltown on TikTok, obviously. If you know any of them guys, those are the guys you should really go to in terms of takes because they to me have the best takes, and hopefully they take over NBA media because this disgrace. They, I'm gonna be honest, they're not good at their jobs at all. They're not. The the guys on First Take, uh, they're okay, I guess. FS1, look, if you ain't talking football, get people that talk basketball on the airwaves. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.